Difference between sovereign and non-sovereign functions. Introduction. The distinction between sovereign and non-sovereign functions is crucial in deciding state liability under the law of torts. The state is generally immune from liability for sovereign functions but can be held liable for non-sovereign functions. Sovereign functions. Meaning. Sovereign functions are those functions which are performed by the state in its sovereign capacity. These functions are essential to governance and can be performed only by the state and not by private individuals. Nature. Such functions involve exercise of state authority and power, including law and order, defense, administration of justice and taxation. For acts done during these functions, the state usually enjoys immunity from tortious liability. Examples. Police activities, military operations, arrest and detention, collection of taxes, and maintenance of public order. Case law. Kasturi Lal vs. State of Uttar Pradesh, 1965. Facts. Gold was seized from the plaintiff by police during arrest and kept in police custody. Due to negligence, a police constable misappropriated the gold and absconded. The plaintiff sued the state for compensation for loss of property caused by negligence of police officials. Held. The Supreme Court held that the state was not liable as the act was done in the exercise of sovereign functions. Seizure and custody of property by police were considered sovereign acts, and hence immunity applied. Non-sovereign functions. Meaning. Non-sovereign functions are those functions which the state performs in the same manner as a private individual or organization. These functions are not exclusive to the state. Nature. Such functions are mainly welfare, commercial or administrative in nature. When performing these functions, the state does not enjoy immunity and can be held liable for torts committed by its servants. Examples. Running transport services, hospitals, educational institutions, public utilities, construction and maintenance of roads. Case law. State of Rajasthan vs. SMT. Vijayawati, 1962. Facts. A government jeep used for official administrative purposes was driven negligently by a government driver, resulting in the death of a pedestrian. The jeep was not used for any defense or police function. Held. The Supreme Court held that the state was vicariously liable because driving a vehicle for administrative work is a non-sovereign function. Compensation was awarded to the legal heirs of the deceased. Judicial narrowing of sovereign immunity. Modern approach. Courts have gradually restricted the scope of sovereign functions to ensure justice and accountability. The tendency is to hold the state liable unless the function is strictly sovereign in nature. Case law. N. Nogendra Rao vs. State of Andhra Pradesh, 1994. Facts. Fertilizers seized under statutory powers were stored negligently by government officials, resulting in deterioration and loss. The owners claimed compensation from the state for negligent handling of seized goods. Held. The Supreme Court held that the state was liable. It ruled that negligent custody of goods was not a sovereign function and emphasized that the state cannot escape liability for welfare and administrative negligence. Basis of difference. Sovereign functions are based on political and governmental authority, while non-sovereign functions are based on welfare and commercial activities. Immunity applies to sovereign functions, but liability applies to non-sovereign functions. Sovereign functions cannot be delegated to private persons, whereas non-sovereign functions can be. Conclusion. The difference between sovereign and non-sovereign functions plays a decisive role in determining state liability in tort law. While traditional immunity protects the state in sovereign acts, modern judicial trends aim to reduce such immunity and promote accountability. Understanding this distinction is essential for LLB examinations and practical application of public law remedies.